I don't know about you, Ferb, but I think bubbles have a great sense of humor. Look what that bubble's doing to my face. You make me laugh out loud, Bubble.
Hello.
Hey, Baljeet.
What are you guys doing?
We're blowing bubbles and relaxing.
Oh, I remember being relaxed. But that was before I had this.
That looks like a color-coded schedule.
That's because it is. Every minute of my entire day is planned out right here. Remember how you told me to seize the day? Consider it seized.
That's not exactly what I meant.
Hey, is it time for me yet?
Not quite.
Hello and welcome to episode 39, day 39 here on the podcast organization without a cool acronym, brought to you by the Geekcast Radio Network. I am your host, TFG and Mike. Joining me as always is Peacock Michael. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. So we got day 39 here. We are, I don't know, a little ways into season 2 at this point.
A few.
Yeah.
A couple.
Well, we've got 10, as of this episode, it'll be 11 podcasts for season 2 from 28 to 39, so there's that. And today we got Bubble Boys and Isabella and the Temple of Sap. So that's what's coming up today. Just a regular episode, not no double shot or anything like that. Another double shot's going to be coming before Christmas, but yeah, regular old episode. So it'll be a shorter episode this time around.
Sure, okay.
Hey, you know,
I got lots to say on the subject. I don't know.
Oh boy. Well, I'm saying traditionally the double episodes that we've been doing, where we have 4 cartoons instead of just 2 single, where we have 4 11-minute cartoons versus 2 11-minute cartoons. Those episodes are turning out to be anywhere between 45 minutes and 58 minutes. Right. Whereas these episodes, the one full episodes usually end up anywhere between 25 and 38 minutes. So.
All right.
Who knows? Apparently Michael has a lot of notes on the Bubble Boys and the Temple of Sap.
Let's just see where this takes us.
Okay, now.
Do you have any extra time for a bubble?
I guess I have time for one.
Oh, can I blow a super huge one? So I can crawl inside it and float around like a little woodland pixie? Did I just say that out loud?
Yes, you did. But that actually sounds fun minus the pixie part. Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. There's no better way to see Danville than from inside a huge bubble.
I want to float around. Like men.
Want to come, Baljeet?
My schedule is extremely tight. I doubt I even have a second to answer your question. Maybe if I move my Poca recital back. Okay.
Great. So you're coming?
No! I moved Poca back so I could answer your question. It will take some major rearranging, but I think I can at least come to watch you make the bubble.
Awesome. Hey, where's Perry?
Haha, right on time. I had Perry's absence on my schedule.
Shh, quiet, Carl. He's coming. Surprise! All right. Happy birthday, Agent P. It's not your birthday, is it? Are we close?
Told ya.
Put a sock in it, Carl.
All right, folks. First up is Bubble Boys. Phineas, Ferb, Buford, Baljeet, Isabella, and the Fireside Girls decide to build a device that blows a huge bubble. The group are sucked into the bubble and float around the whole town, with Baljeet panicking about not sticking to his color-coded schedule. Meanwhile, Candace is practicing her driving with Linda in the car. Also, over at DEI, Doofenshmirtz tries to take over the world through country and western music. Because, let's face it, country and western music has never been combined before. You know what, Doofenshmirtz? It didn't work for Pinky and the Brain. What makes you think it's going to work for you?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
Country and western.
Yup, exactly.
That's funny.
Uh-huh. So, overall, what did you think of the entire plot here before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we liked and didn't like? How do you feel about the overall plot between the A story and the B story here?
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Really?
Nah, I wasn't a fan of this one. Um, which is strange, because it seems like the B-side story of this was so much better and much more entertaining, and here they just kind of gloss past that second story to the point where I barely even remembered that they were connected until after the fact, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like this one. I thought it was kind of fun. I used to know kids in kindergarten that were like Baljeet. Like, the sad thing is, I didn't have an actual schedule, but I'm one of those types of people that I do schedule ahead of stuff. I do make sure that if I have, like, for those that are listening to this in December, back when we recorded this in September, uh, the week that we recorded this, I had 5 other recordings that I had planned the week before to record this week that we're recording this. So it's like, yeah, I understand the plan ahead, but scheduling every minute of the day, that's a little too OCD for me.
A little bit. He had a whole Gantt chart going on, and the project managers in the audience will recognize what a Gantt chart is, but
Yes.
it's basically a project management memory map and all this stuff going on, and I thought, wow, that looks pretty full. I mean, you should be getting paid for making those. That's a skill.
I had Perry's absence noted in my schedule.
Exactly. I knew it was going to happen ahead of time.
Yep. What's the deal with Buford? We learn a whole new insight to Buford here.
Maybe a little too much.
I want to float around like a woodland pixie. Wait, what? What did you? That's one of those double take. Wait, what?
What? I didn't say anything. I wanted to float around all manly.
Yeah, like men.
Yeah, like manly men. What I thought was funny is that Baljeet had Buford's abuse time penciled into his Gantt chart. Seize the day, Baljeet.
Consider it seized. I don't think that's what Phineas meant, and I know that is not what Mr. Keating meant, so.
That's right. Carpe diem.
Phone call from God. If it had been collect, it would have been daring. All right. What is there anything you did like about this one?
Oh man, this is hard. Well, Candace is learning how to drive. Good for Candace. Baby steps with Candace. She's taking it really slow. I did the same thing when I learned to drive.
Yeah.
First time I got behind the wheel, I thought I was doing really good. I brought the brought the car up to about 25 miles per hour. And it turns out that I wasn't actually looking at the miles per hour gauge. I was looking at the RPM gauge.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I was actually doing about half a mile per hour.
Oh my God.
And I was like, wow, man, this is big. This is a big step for me. And everyone's like, speed up! Yeah, so I know how Candace feels.
The funny thing is, like, I get what because this episode with Candace driving ties back continuity-wise to it's a mud world where she learned to parallel park. So,
oh, good call. Yeah.
my problem is that, and this isn't, I don't know, I know we're talking about things we like, but just logically, it seems to me if she can drive a monster truck, she can drive anything. Because she wasn't just parallel parking that monster truck. She drove it all over the damn track.
Oh, monster trucks don't have, like, one-way signs and, right of way. You're a monster truck. You drive over everything. It's not that hard. It's like, when you have like a riding lawnmower and it's like, I can drive a riding lawnmower. It's like, yeah, but you don't have to give right of way to other people in your yard. It's not the same thing. There's no four-way stop signs in your backyard.
The only way you would have to give right of way or stop at a four-way stop is if you were the water boy.
Exactly.
Good old Adam Sandler driving that lawnmower.
That is some high quality H2O.
um, I did enjoy the birthday card trap. That was kind of
That was
funny.
funny. Doof says, "Surprise!" Yeah, that was a surprise. I like how he used the card to cut himself free. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was good too.
I like that part. Yeah.
Before we get to the negative stuff,
Yeah.
after watching, and I'll say this again when we talk about Temple of Sap, but after watching both of these back to back, since they are essentially the same story, just a different angle, I can see in this episode where the story bits of the next episode kick in. Like when she first shows up saying, when he says, "Oh, get us a sample of the sap," or after watching these again, I can fully see where the Isabella and the Fireside Girls story bits from Temple of Sap fit in. I almost wish this was one full episode. If this was a two-parter,
Yeah.
and the stories both were intertwined with each other, this would have made a hell of a lot better overall episode, I think.
Well, and instead they went with kind of a Tarantino-esque editing process. Where Bubble Boys ends up being kind of mediocre, and then the next episode ends up being really, really good. And if they had blended them together in one big double episode, then would Bubble Boys have just watered down the rest of it? I don't know. I can't say.
I don't know.
Would we have just given the whole thing a 3 or a 4? I don't know. I can't say. But I do like the way that they split it up. I really like the Temple of Sap, and we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what didn't you like about Bubble Boys?
The fact that I didn't see a whole lot of Doof. I like Doofenshmirtz. I like his backstory. I like his innators. And in this case, we didn't see a whole lot of that. He's got kind of a country western mind control hat thing going on.
Yeah.
He sings. It's not him singing. It's somebody else. I was going to say check the wiki and see who did the singing. I would be surprised if they brought a real country western star in to do the. Would I be surprised? Maybe not. No, actually, maybe they brought Clint Black in there. I don't know who's big in country western now.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, come on, you're from the deep south.
No. Don't even friggin' go there. I'm originally from Massachusetts, damn it. I don't. Just because I've lived in Kentucky for the last 23, 24 years doesn't mean.
Okay. Yeah, 23, 24 years and you don't know what's popular. All right, never mind. Okay.
Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is popular.
I don't think it was Garth Brooks doing the singing, though. I would have recognized that.
No, it was not. No,
Yeah.
It was not Garth Brooks. It was a guy by the name of Jeff Gunn.
Jeff Gunn.
He worked on the Angry Beavers TV series from 99 to 2000. He was a singer in The Lion of Oz from 2000. He did. He was a singing voice in Jimmy. Basically, he's got 4 credits between 2000 and now.
So suffice to say, not a real country western singer.
Have you ever seen 200 Cigarettes? The movie 200 Cigarettes?
No.
Okay, I was going to say he performed several songs in that movie.
No, I don't recognize it.
But
anyway.
that's...
Yeah, so you got Doofenshmirtz, and he's got a rocket pack that does him a huge disservice.
Uh-huh.
That was kind of funny. But the rocket pack then detaches from him and takes his clothes with, hence the disservice. And it somehow attaches to Candace's car to rocket her to where she needs to be. And that's the fishtail?
Yep.
That's it? That's all that's going on here. Yeah. So it just didn't I didn't like it. There you go. And then at the end, the boys fall into an unsafe playground. directly on top of those things that can kill you.
Wait,
You know what those things I'm talking about, right?
the righty things?
Yeah, it's like an animal on a spring, and you sit on the
Okay.
animal, and you kind of go back and forth until you fall
Well-
off and bang your head on the concrete.
Okay.
They don't have those anymore for a reason.
Has this happened to you in the past?
I may or may not have fallen off of one and banged my head on the concrete. But regardless, you know,
No,
they don't put
But I
those
have to
on.
defend the scene just a little bit because they pull a roller coaster gag. At the end of roller coaster, because the roller coaster crashes into the tree,
And they fall into the tree, right?
and they fall through the tree down the branches and land. That's the same kind of gag they do here. I saw Phineas actually hold on to a branch before he landed on the bouncy, springy boing.
Yeah, that thing, that death trap.
Yeah.
And he's lucky he didn't like pop a testicle, because you know those things are unforgiving.
I don't think.
You fall out of a tree onto one of those unwieldy metal animals, and you're gonna have a testicle shooting out your shorts. Pew!
I don't think Disney Channel, Dan Povenmire, and Swampy Marsh had anything like that in mind for this little gag here.
I'm sure they were fine. And then Perry
So what
falls
would you
up.
rate Bubble Boys?
You know, I was gonna give it a 2. I was debating on whether or not there was actually a song in this episode, and it was the country western thing
Yep.
where I can't remember how it goes now. It was like 2 seconds long. They completely glossed over the whole doof part of this story. I mean, it's nice that they spent more time with Candace and her driving, and you know the whole bubble thing is it's forgettable. In a tiny bit of doof.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I just find Doof's plots to be so that one thing that can give an episode an extra half point at times. Even though there's not much here. I mean, we see Perry come into the lair, we see him get trapped, we see Doof explain the plan to him, we see him go to these whatever the hell these auditions are, like and not even the whole tri-state area, not even all of Danville was at this thing. There was like 10 people.
It was maybe 20 rednecks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all like, "Yeah, we should do what he says," and then they're like throwing bottles at the chicken wire.
Well, they throw bottles at the chicken wire because Perry threw the card and destroyed the hat. So, yeah.
You know, for a scientist, he has very few redundant subsystems. You'd think he would build these in.
Please, don't try to bring science into this because it'll just be a friggin' train wreck.
Simple engineering. Come on,
I mean, he's not even going back to what Vanessa has said in past episodes. Doctor, you're not a doctor. I am. I have one. Yeah, anyone can buy one of those for $10 on the internet. That's enough looking. You know, I mean, he's not even really like he wants to. Like he's an evil scientist in training. I mean, he does build all these really cool innators, but
yeah, you think he'd have a doctorate in engineering?
You really think Dr. Doofenshmirtz is going to go to engineering school?
Yeah, man. He built all that stuff. This will be one of his tragic backstories. Long ago, my parents told me that I would never amount to anything, and so that I showed them by going to college.
He'd be smoking way too much meth.
That's right. What do you do for fun? Math.
I don't know what the hell it is with season 2, folks, but ever since that Baljeet episode, ever since the Baljeetles episode, our running gag on the podcast is meth.
Math. It's funny. Baljeetles was a great episode. Well,
it was.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get.
Speaking of great episodes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh.
We're gonna get to
And yeah, you interrupting me, that's what we're going to get to.
Knock, knock.
Coming up next, Isabella and the Temple of Sap.
There you are, Isabella. I made a funny. It's always humorous when one refers to oneself in the third person. You try it, Pinky. Yeah, not a hard and fast rule, I guess. What's that? I hear a sash calling me to earn it some more new patches. Come on, Pinky. Sesquipedalian. Here's your saying a word no one else in the room knows patch. Does anyone else want to try? Someone's coming. Defense positions. Look alive, people. It's our fearless leader. Hey, guys. What you doing? Earning patches. So, did you guys decide what patch to get today? Because I have a suggestion. Let me guess. The Let's Help Phineas and Ferb patch? It's called the Help Thy Neighbor patch, Addison. Don't make up patch names. I already have 52 of those. I have 53. Remember, I went back one afternoon after everyone else went home? I know. Don't remind me.
Last up today, we have Isabella and the Temple of Doom. Sap.
There was indeed Sap involved.
Yeah. Well, Phineas and Ferb get the bubble ready. Isabella and the Fireside Girls head out to the old abandoned amusement park. Old abandoned? Twice? Yeah. Where the maraca nut tree is and try to get the sap from it. Meanwhile, Isabella's pet dog, Pinky, tries to stop his nemesis, Professor Poof and Plots, from
That's her name.
Hairspray. Okay, so a little bit of background here. Overall, not production code-wise, but broadcast-wise, this is the 75th episode of Phineas and Ferb.
Woo!
75th broadcast number, as far as according to the awesome Phineas and Ferb wiki. This plot was a hell of a lot more fun than Bubble Boy.
A lot more fun.
Yeah. It just really, really is. I just absolutely love this one. I like the way it's set up. I like the way that it essentially shows you the episode from Isabella's point of view. To some extent, the other Fireside Girls as well. Because we've got, Stacy's little sister who has a crush on Baljeet or something or other.
That's Stacy's little sister, really?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
I think it is.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up later. But overall, I love how the plot goes through. I love that because we're dealing with Perry and Doof on the Yodelinator, that we have this whole other adventure with Pinky and Poof and Plots.
Agent Pinky.
Yeah, Agent Pinky. And, you look at Agent Pinky and you look at Professor Poof and Plots. It's essentially Agent P and Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Poof and Plots, Doofenshmirtz, Poof and Plots, Doofenshmirtz. It's very similar.
Very similar. There's in the beginning. There's the "Hey, where's Pinky" moment.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Pinky? And then there's a hat tip to the elevator. Yeah, or I should say, Pinky goes into the elevator and tips his hat to Perry.
Yeah.
Right before he jumps out. So I mean, this is at this point, this was a signal to me that wait a minute, these two are the same episode. They're dovetailing together.
They're very much connected. And this is why I said, even though the overall adventure of Bubble Boys is a little bit less than whatever, this is why I said I think this episode would have benefited from being that part 1, part 2 kind of thing instead of 2 individually named episodes. Like, this, I don't know. It could have been better as a 2-parter overall between the two.
I've seen Pulp Fiction re-edited into one continuous storyline, chronologically speaking. It wasn't very good.
Okay, yeah, but setting aside Quentin Tarantino and his overall quote-unquote greatness,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Pulp Fiction is an amazing movie, but there are just certain things dealing with this episode and the last episode that I just think that if they were shown as one full story instead of looking at Bubble Boys and seeing, like, when I watched Bubble Boys, because I actually watched, as I said, I normally watch these episodes twice, once to go through for audio and then the second time to take notes. So when I watched Bubble Boys and Isabella and the Temple of Sap the first time to take the audio, I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of nicely fits in. Then I sat down and started taking notes. I'm like, hey, that's where that episode should fit with this, and yeah, so
Right.
as far as other things, I liked Isabella apparently gets trapped in Phineas Land a lot.
Phineas Land. Is he like a rare unicorn or something?
No, he's supposed to be not a minotaur.
A centaur.
Thank you, centaur.
Yeah.
Half man, half horse.
I was just kidding, but yeah.
Oh, well.
I like in the very beginning we the first thing we see is Isabella's bedroom,
Yeah.
and there's so much detail. She's got a Star of David on her wall, because she's half Jewish. She's got sewing supplies, and she's got her sash. She's got a shiver dog. All these things that you would expect to see, they're there. It's like somebody really planned out what her bedroom was going to look like.
Yeah. I've heard, and I think you've heard this as well, I've heard that Isabella is either named after or slightly based off of Dan's own daughter.
Oh, really?
I believe she's at least named after his daughter. I could be wrong on that, though. But if you look at it, if you look at her bedroom, it basically has everything, from both sides of her heritage, Mexican and Jewish.
Yeah.
And it fits. It works. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool that somebody just really put that much effort into designing her room. I mean, because there's a sight gag, where she climbs out of bed with this weird mop, and then just kind of shakes her head and becomes Isabella. But what's going on around her is very interesting as well.
Yeah. I don't think we've gotten to the episode yet, but there is an episode where this is probably the first time we have a hair joke with her, like having really, really whacked out hair when she's asleep or whatever. There's one where there's a whole song about it. Izzy's got the frizzies.
Oh.
Where her hair's all frizzed out.
Yeah.
I forget which episode that is. We'll probably get to it eventually, obviously. But some illusions in this one.
Okay.
Let's see here. The Guru's shades are reminiscent of John Lennon of the Beatles fame.
Oh god, you're reading the wiki, aren't you?
Yep.
All right, fine.
Poof and Plots' building looks similar to the Sega Saturn logo. That's a stretch.
Oof, they're all stretches. Keep going.
Not all of them.
Anything about the spider head mobile?
The spider, no.
Like the spider.
There should be something about it, but no.
There should be, because it should be something. It's like it should be like a pop culture reference. I'm sure that there's giant spider tanks, somewhere floating around popular culture that this is based off of somehow.
Yes, and yes, Ginger is the younger sister to Stacy.
To Stacy? And she has a crush on Baljeet.
Yes.
See, now, the fact that a Fireside Girl finds Baljeet attractive just gives hope to all of us nerds,
Oh wait, there's a whole episode where a French Fireside Girl and Buford have a long, torrid love affair.
Oh, well, you know, Buford's kind of the bad boy. Of course, women are gonna flock to him, but Baljeet has a Gantt chart that tells him when he can blow his nose. I mean, there's just, there's no upside here for Baljeet, but somebody still finds him attractive. So, hey, good for her. Good for him. She doesn't get a badge for it, but, you know, good for her anyway.
No.
No badge for you.
No badge for you. Badgers, 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 badgers. Narwhals, narwhals.
That's right. That's, it was the, I just saw a hot guy badge, and she's like, give me that back. You don't get that badge. Poor Baljeet.
So this is the first appearance of Professor Poof and Plots, Pinky's nemesis.
Really?
Now, in a later episode, I believe she mentions at one point or another she checks the mail and she sees a rejection letter from Love Muffin. We have not been introduced to Love Muffin yet, but
haven't we?
No, I don't
Wasn't
think
there
so.
the episode where Love Muffin and Alka get scheduled in the same Holiday Inn or something?
Oh,
Was it called
yeah.
Love Muffin?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's been so long since we did season 1, I don't remember.
I thought maybe the wiki was wrong this time. I was like, ha! But,
no, I'm not. I'm not reading from the wiki now. I'm just
okay.
saying this is according to the wiki, this is the first appearance of Poof and Plots. But the funny thing is that her plans and Doof's plans are about on the same level as far as succeeding to take over the world or the tri-state area. I mean, her whole plan here is to make herself beautiful forever by gaining a lifetime supply of stiff beauty, which apparently is only good for clown makeup.
And making statues. Apparently,
And making
that's
statues, yes.
That's one of the things it's good for. You know what was funny though is she's like, I want to take over the world, not just the tri-state area. And then she says, but I can't do that until I'm beautiful, and I need my hairspray to do that. So then she's gonna take her spider tank out and acquire the hairspray.
And that spider tank was awfully full. I mean, there was a lot of stuff inside that thing.
I hadn't noticed, really.
I mean, it really was. I mean, I didn't notice any individual, like, when Pinky crashes through her ear,
Yeah.
or the side of her head, or wherever he crashes to, and then he, uses his harpoon, his grapple thing to attach it to the building to get her to not be able to go, but it just seems like the cockpit of that thing was a lot larger than normal, than you would think for something like that.
Yeah. It didn't look like there was a whole lot of room in there, but maybe it's bigger on the inside. Oh God.
Leave it to the Whovian of the podcast to bring in a Who reference.
So the villain dumps Pinky into the garbage cans. That Candace eventually hits. Now they were all knocked over, so I assumed that she had already hit them.
No, she hit she hit trash cans twice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. She just can't help but hit the trash cans. Yeah, but then she hit the trash can that Pinky was in, and knocking it over and letting him run off to defeat Poof and Plots. That's a terrible name. Poof and Plots. I honestly could have done without the whole hippie thing. I get it that there was a hippie on top of the mountain. There's like a guru there to give advice, and that's kind of funny, but it just seemed out of place.
The only funny bit was when she harmonized with him.
He totally harmonized.
Me. Yeah. That was the only funny part. I mean, I thought it was going to be cool that he disappeared, and then one of the Fireside Girls had to say, "Oh, where'd he go?" And he's right over there. Oh, hey, little sisters, hey. That was a little much.
Yeah. I mean, they somehow had to get the car keys to the girls, I guess.
Well, he had already given them to him. He had given them to them.
Yeah.
And then he and then he disappeared. So just leave it at that.
I mean, honestly, they could have crawled up the mountain and found the old abandoned theme park, the amusement park. And at that point, the keys could have already been inside the van. They could have excised that character completely, and it wouldn't have hurt anything.
Then we wouldn't have the cool harmonization, though. So that's, yeah.
I'm fairly certain that something equally cool would have happened. I mean, something equally cool does happen, if not more so cool.
Which is?
I was gonna get to it, but the whole oh, come on, what was it? The hippie wagon.
Yep.
The climbing of the hippie wagon, and there's the whole roller coaster instance, because of course you need a roller coaster in Phineas and Ferb. And she's this really cool thing that Isabella does. Yeah, I'm tired. She earns her reckless disregard for life and limb patch in the process, so it's cool.
Yeah.
And she saves the tiny bonsai tree.
It's a Moroccan nut tree.
It's a bonsai Moroccan. Yeah. The last of its kind.
If their one ride, their one big attraction was about a tree, I see why they shut down.
Exactly. This is a tree-related roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's I like the plaque. Stickiness is the most underrated of all the nesses.
Yeah.
It's like, that's true. It's true. There's wisdom here.
I do like how everything does fishtail in the end.
I mean too. I like that they used lean, in both sides.
Yep.
And the hippie wagon makes it all the way back to the park just in time, and in time for Phineas to become a unicorn. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's Curse You, Pinky the Chihuahua.
Curse you, Pinky the Chihuahua. And it was only because her hair stuck out. It was only because she had a cowlick.
Yeah, exactly. If she had been, she had had a good hair day while she was frozen like a statue, everything would have been fine.
Yep. Pretty much.
Now, there was that line, girls, sashes. Is this the first time that's happened? Because that's kind of a recurring thing.
Well, I think it's the second time it's happened. The only other time I can remember off the top of my head without looking at anything that has happened is when Haunted House.
Yeah, that's right. It has happened before.
Scare, because they create the trampoline bouncy thing for Phineas when he's falling.
Right.
And he bounces on it and ends up in Isabella's arms.
Right. Okay. See, I knew that it had happened before. Just couldn't remember when.
Yep. One good scare ought to do it.
One good scare. That's right. Cures her hiccups. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
That was scary.
The line of the night. Suss it out and put the kibosh on it.
That
was funny. She's very British.
Yeah, their whole organization is very British, it seems.
Very pink. There's a lot of pink going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over in Wanda's division. It's a little too weird for me.
That's it. So
you got Cookie the Chihuahua, and you got a bunch of pink walls.
A lot of pink stuff going on. So I would give this one 5.
Really?
Yeah, as I love how this one ties into the first. There's the Perry to Pinky parallel is great.
Yeah.
I love it that Isabella is an action hero.
Yeah.
She's fantastic, and it'd be nice to have more episodes that center around other characters. I mean, like occasionally you'll get one where, it's a Vanessa episode, or it's an Isabella episode, or it's a Candace episode, but they're few and far between. So this was really nice to see, and honestly, after Bubble Boys, they really needed a win here. Really needed something entertaining to make me come back for the next day.
Oh wow! Alrighty then. I am going to give it a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it. It didn't really put me over the top on the whole 5 thing, but 4.5's not bad. It's still a really great score.
Okay. What did you not like about it?
I don't know. Some of the like the whole.
You know what? There was even a song in this one, unlike Bubble Boy. The Fireside Girl theme song. They actually get a theme song in this one, and it's not too terribly long.
Yes, it's not too terribly long. Yes, there was a song in Bubble Boy. It was Yodel Yodel Oh Baby.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't count. He said Yodel Oh Baby like 3 times, and that was it. It was like, the lyrical genius said it's Garth Brooks could have written a better song than that.
Oh my god.
Or no, I'm thinking Billy Ray Cyrus. He's the lyrical genius. Garth Brooks can actually write.
No. Oh my god. There is a song.
Yeah.
There is. Oh, come on. There has to be another
It's in there
song.
somewhere. It's coming. It's right on the tip of your tongue.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Yodel 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 Baby is the song. And the lyrics are
oh dear. You're not gonna
Yodel
sing it.
Yodel Baby. No voice. Let's see. Where? Oh, here it is. He says, "Let me tell you my evil scheme. I'm gonna enslave your minds with a predictable melody." Obviously, I can't sing for shit, but there is a whole song.
If you say so.
Yeah, there is.
I was too busy being disappointed in this episode to hear the song, I guess.
There are the lyrics for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You want me to sing it? I'll sing it. No.
No, please don't.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, come back to close the show after this, but there are lyrics in that song.
Thank you very much. I'm next, Barry the Platypus. After this concert, I will be the most well-liked man in the tri-state area.
Let me tell you my evil scheme. I'm gonna enslave your minds with a predictable melody and uncomplicated rhymes. Then if I ask you to, you'd even change your name to Amy, because you're gonna yodel, 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 obey me. You'll be my obedient, mindless slaves, then nobody will blame me, because you'll yodel, 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 obey me.
I like him. Yeah, let's do whatever he says.
Yodel, 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 obey me. Yodel, 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 yodel,
Yodel, obey me. He's terrible. Yodel, 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 obey me. Yeah, this thing's so bad I want to break something. Yeah, that really wasn't worth it. Let's get out of here. I'm hungry.
You can't mix country with western. These two completely different types of music.
That song was horrible!
Yeah, those lyrics was way too on the nose. Okay, that wasn't as successful as I'd hoped. But at least I can beat a hasty retreat before I'm too humiliated.
Hello, geeks and geekettes! Looking for a podcast that covers a vast array of topics? Then check out Altered Geek Unleashed, where we discuss our thoughts on this week's geeky news, tech, gaming, television shows, movies, cartoons, comics, and more. So, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks, every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hello? Earth to hippie.
Excuse me.
Whoa. You just harmonized with me.
Say, Jarvis, is it that time?
The house party protocol, sir?
Correct.
The Pull Bag is the GCRN's comic book review and discussion-based podcast. Join your hosts, DFU and Mike,
and the rest of the GCRN crew as we make our way through the comic book world. Inside the pull bag, you'll also find back issue classics, Origins episodes, After Darks, and so much more. You can find the pull bag every Wednesday in iTunes, on Stitcher Smart Radio, Blog Talk Radio, and of course, GeekCastRadio.com. Make your great escape into comics and jump into the pull bag today.
Do you like retro cartoons? Then Saturday Morning Rewind is the podcast for you. Join them each month as they talk about classic cartoons and interview legendary voice actors like Jim Cummings.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Corey Burton.
Sometimes flies can be so flighty.
Rob Paulson.
Sure, Vane, but how are we going to find chaps our size?
Nancy Cartwright and many more.
Eat my shorts.
So grab a bowl of Lucky Charms.
They're magically delicious.
Put on your hammer pants. Go to SaturdayMorningRewind.com. And be prepared to feel like a kid again. Once again, that's SaturdayMorningRewind.com. Saturday Morning Rewind was voted Best Podcast Ever by its host, Tim Nidell. So it's gotta be good.
Suss it out and put the kibosh on it.
We are back here on the podcast organization without a cool acronym. We are almost at 40 podcast episodes out of 104. So far, Season 2 has been... At this point, would you say it's up and down?
Yeah, there's been some double episodes that we really liked, and there's been some downsides, but for the most part, it's, I'm happy with the series.
Yep, same here. We can't enjoy every single episode, folks. We can enjoy various things about each episode, but overall, it would be a boring-ass podcast if we liked every single thing.
Statistically unlikely.
Yeah. The podcast would be 1-minute reviews. We like this, and this. Okay, next. We like this, and this, and this. Okay, next. Yeah. So,
yeah.
That's not...
It would just be Blanchard reading the wiki for half an hour.
Oh, shut up. I don't read the wiki all the damn time.
I don't read the wiki.
As I've said, for the last 38 episodes, it's the Phineas... I could understand your complaint if it was the regular Wikipedia. But again, as I've said over the past 38 podcasts, this is the Phineas and Ferb Wikipedia. These people put a hell of a lot more work into their information than regular Wikipedia.
I don't deny that they spend an awful lot of time thinking up far-reaching allusions and putting them down in the Wikipedia. I agree. They do a lot of work. It's fantastic that some people put this much effort into it. But you don't have to read from it every episode. That's all I'm saying.
I don't read from it every episode. I just take various little bits.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Bits. Anyway.
Thank you for joining us here on Palca. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, GeekCastRadio.com, where you can comment on this and all of our other episode posts. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. Mine is TFU and Mike. You can also follow at GeekCastRadio for all the other network updates. What is your Twitter?
I'm at PecanCT Michael.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to Facebook.com/Geekcast or Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Palca and wish you'll join us next time when we will be giving you our thoughts on the next episode of Phineas and Ferb, which features Cheer Up Candace. Oh boy. For some odd reason, I hear the Seinfeld theme song in my head when I read that title. And the Fireside Girls Jamboree. So, yay, more Fireside Girl stuffs.
Yay.
For now, I am TFU and Mike with
Michael Wilson.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
But wait, there's more.
Say it again.
Aren't you a little young to be a podcaster?
No, I'm not. Aren't you a little old to be watching this cartoon show?
Yes, I am. It's good to see the nation's senior citizens taking an interest in cartooning.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
There's not really any more. That's about it.